Eric Peterson here with Arborists. Today's weekly business tip is all about driving tests. Now, for many arborists, one of the largest draws into the tree care world was getting the chance to operate some of the specialized trucks that are in the industry. From grapple trucks to crane trucks to bucket trucks to dump trucks, there are so many specialized vehicles that every tree service uses. Now, a lot of times, obviously, those come with a very hefty price tag. So, why don't more tree services implement and employ a driving test before they allow their drivers to take out a mortgage-sized vehicle out on the road to the job site? I think the simple answer is they just don't know how to structure it. And so today's weekly business tip, we want to give you the framework for doing a simple driving test that you can implement within your company so that you can make sure you know how well your drivers are going to drive before they get into your large, expensive vehicles. First step, obviously determine the vehicles that you're going to use for the test. Now, you obviously probably have multiple different types of vehicles, and we'll also recommend that you probably have a test for each type of vehicle, but pick the one that you want to use. Make sure it's up to date on all of the maintenance and everything like that before you take it out on driving tests, but pick the different vehicles that you want to use for the different tests. Second one, you need to designate a current team member to act as the facilitator if you're doing it in-house. If you're doing it in-house, that facilitator needs to know the equipment that is on the vehicle, needs to know the ins and outs of the vehicle, and really needs to be able to participate and pay attention to make sure that they're grading or scoring the driver who's going through the test accurately. Third thing, let's decide on what components you need to have on the test, right? I think a number of things need to happen. Your pre and post trip inspection should be part of it. Talking about turning vehicles, proper lights, proper parking, cone setup, whatever it might be. Determine the components that you want to test on. Your fourth step is determining the actual safe route. Most people don't have enough room in their yard at their shop to do a full driving test. So make sure you plan a route that is the same route from driver to driver so that the facilitator can actually understand the differences between two different people, but also that it's a safe route. Make sure that you're not putting your equipment and your potential driver and your facilitator in harm's way by sending them into a congested area or an area that, if they're unfamiliar with driving that type of vehicle, they're probably not going to tell you in the interview that they're unfamiliar with it. So make sure the route is safe. And then lastly, obviously, you want to create a checklist of all the different things that you need to look for on the driving test. This helps the facilitator stay focused. It makes it objectional, not subjective, and then just, I guess, run with the test that way. So if you need more help creating a driver test, reach out to an arborist team member. We'll get you signed up for a Thrive program and help you build out a driver test and some driver training, which we'll talk on in a little bit. Also, I wanted to put a little plug for you to stay tuned for a new workshop that we're putting together. Along with Streamside Green and Victorian Gardens, Arborists is hosting a driver and fleet management workshop. So look for that. It's going to be coming out in October of 2020. Check your email for more details in the future, but that's how we put together a driver test. So if any other questions, reach out to an Arborist team member today.